إيمانا واحتسابا لوجه الله الكريم عز وجل.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ليال التمكين أمثال وحكمة من القرآن الكريم. Nights of empowerment, parables and wisdom from the glorious Quran. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not shy away from using a variety of parables in the Quran, and a variety of parables irrespective of the subject, provided that some lesson is conveyed through those parables. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, for example, mentions this in the Holy Quran in Surah Baqarah. In fact, He says, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَسْتَحْيِي أَن يَضْرِبَ مَثَلًا مَا بَعُوضَةً فَمَا فَوْقَهَا فَأَمَّا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا فَيَعْلَمُونَ أَنَّهُ الْحَقُّ مِنْ رَبِّهِمْ وَأَمَّا الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا فَيَقُولُونَ مَاذَا أَرَادَ اللَّهُ بِهَذَا مَثَلًا. Behold, Allah does not find it condescending in any way to offer a parable even of a little insect, or even something less than an insect. Those who have attained faith, they know this is the truth from Allah, the sustainer. Whereas those who are stuck in denying the truth, they say, what does Allah mean by these parables? We have noted that parables or similes or proverbs in the glorious Quran affords us ethical insights, highlights noble virtues, they illustrate valuable principles, and of course, most often provide moral lessons. So let us consider for tonight the parable of the fly. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, in Surah Hajj, يَا أَيُّهَا النَّاسِ ضُرِبَ مَثَلٌ فَاسْتَمِعُوا لَهُ إِنَّ الَّذِينَ تَدْعُونَ مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ لَن يَخْلُقُوا ذُبَابًا وَلَوِ اجْتَمَعُوا لَهُ وَإِن يَسْلُبْهُمُ الذُّبَابُ شَيْئًا لَا يَسْتَنقِذُوا مِنْهُ ضَعُفَ الطَّالِبُ وَالْمَطْلُوبُ. O humankind, a parable is offered to you. So listen to it attentively. Take note that those things whom you pray to, those who are idol worshippers and who have gods other than Allah, those things whom you pray to instead of Allah cannot even create a fly, even if they were to combine all their collective efforts. And if a fly snatches something from them, they cannot even retrieve it from the fly. Weak indeed is the seeker from idols, and weak indeed are those idols from whom you are seeking something. It is said that the Quraysh used to wipe the Kaaba with a sweet scent. And this sweet scent would often attract flies, and these flies would sit on the idols, including Hubal. Hubal was the main idol at the Kaaba at that time. So the simile in this verse intimates, the parable, that these idols that people worshipped, they cannot even create a fly, even less than that. They do not even have the ability to wipe away or swipe away the flies that sit on them. And it says if the fly snatches something from them, they can't even retrieve it. How feeble is the idol worshipper's reliance on the idol, and how feeble and weak are the idols themselves. The Prophet ﷺ said in a hadith documented in the Musnad of Imam Ahmad ibn Hanbal, who is more wrong than the one who competes with Allah in creation or competes with Allah in anything? Allah says, فَيَخْلُقُوا مِثْلَ خَلْقِي ذَرَّةً أَوْ ذُبَابَةً أَوْ حَبَّةً. And if you want to compete, then create from me one kernel of corn, one seed, or even a fly from my creation. Create something as simple as that. Now, we need to note that creation is something where you bring something into existence from nothingness. Creation, to bring something into existence from nothingness. So even as human beings, we make things, but we don't create things. We manufacture things from existing material. We make glass from sand. We make paper from wood, but the wood is there, the sand is there. We manufacture, we use the aql Allah gave us and manufacture things. We don't bring something from nothingness into existence. And therefore, Allah is the only creator. ذَلِكُمُ اللَّهُ رَبُّكُمْ خَالِقُ كُلِّ شَيْءٍ. La ilaha illahu fa anna tufakun. Allah, your sustainer, He indeed is the creator of all that exists. There is no deity worthy of worship besides Him. The parable brings to fore the incapacity of anyone other than Allah to actually create. And the challenge is they can't even create a fly, and 2 points are raised. Who can create a fly? And who can retrieve something from the fly? The idols can't even retrieve something from the fly. Let's begin with the consideration of the retrieving something from the fly. On the one hand, if a fly should snatch something from the idol, whatever it may be, the idols can't even move to swipe away the fly. But on the other hand, there's another lesson for us. Even if we look in our homes, for example, the fly, if a fly snatches, for example, a grain of sugar or a couple of grains of sugar, which it often does, by the way, no one would be able to really recover once it snatches it. Why? Because one of the specific features of a fly is the way they digest food. They don't digest food in their mouth, they make it malleable. They only take something in liquid form. So they liquefy their food, and then they suck it in. And that is why that's called sponging. So once it secretes something onto the food, that food or that sugar becomes liquefied. You can't reverse that process. So once it takes something from you, you can't even bring it back. Maybe it refers to that, Allah knows best. As for creating the fly, obviously we can't create a fly. But even the simplest of creature is uniquely designed by the Creator. A fly is the simplest of things. And Allah said in the ayah, Allah is not shy to use the simplest of things, even an insect or something less. But even this very basic, it has receptors, which is called Kemun sensilla, which are found in the lower legs and the feet. They can taste food with their feet. And not only that, due to the, I'm just using the feet now, I'm not going to the whole animal, by the way, or the whole insect. Due to the pads, the pulvuli pads on its foot, it's able to walk, climb almost any surface, no matter where it is, whether it's horizontal, vertical, it can even walk upside down. Not only that, it has compound eyes, which probably has approximately 4,000 eyes or lenses in each eye, and they have a 360-degree view at the same time, at one time. But you can imagine the brain of a fly. Nonetheless, it can we process 60 images per second. That fly can process 250 images per second. The lowly fly which Allah made, which the idols can't even swipe away. So we see, that's why it's so hard to catch a fly. Before you see it, they see you. But nonetheless, it's among the least magnificent of Allah's creation. And yet, فَتَبَارَكَ اللَّهُ أَحْسَنُ الْخَالِقِينَ. Points for our consideration. 1, a fly is only a small base creature, an insect. Yet, it is put here in this verse in contrast, defying the non-existent powers of the idols that people worship. Allah didn't use something big. He used a fly. To compare the fly and the inability of these idols whom you make into gods, can't even compare with the fly, nor does it even match up to the fly. It's not able even to chase a fly away. 2, neither human nor gods, the people worship, the gods that people worship, none of them can create a fly. But even that seemingly lowly fly is a unique marvel of creation nonetheless. It's a unique marvel of creation. Thirdly, only Allah is the creator. And this is the bottom line. Allah is only worthy of being worshipped. This is the lesson of the parable. Only Allah is worthy of being worshipped. Only Allah is the creator. Remember, just like those people who put together the ready-made parts of a car, they are called assemblers of the car, not inventors of the car. People who assemble ready-made parts are called assemblers of the car, not inventors of the car. So too, we are manufacturers of many things. We are not the creators of anything. Only Allah is the creator. أقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله.